The galactic census had never been wrong. In 3,000 years of meticulous record-keeping, the Confederation's population surveys had maintained a 99.97% accuracy rate. So when Captain Joran of the survey vessel tallied Dawn noticed the discrepancy in Sector 7G, he assumed it was a clerical error. Run it again, he told his second officer, his mandibles clicking with irritation. The holographic display flickered, recalculating. The numbers remained unchanged. According to their instruments, there should be 847 sapient beings on the Human Research Station orbiting Kepler 442b. Their visual count showed 891. 44 unaccounted entities, Joran muttered. Impossible. That's when he decided to dock and investigate personally. The Confederation took census fraud seriously. Undeclared populations meant undeclared resources, which meant potential tax evasion or worse, harboring fugitives. The Human Station Administrator, a woman named Tessa Chen, met him at the airlock with a smile that Joran found unsettling. Humans smiled too much, showing their bone-white teeth like territorial predators. Captain Joran, Tessa said, extending her hand in that bizarre human greeting ritual. Welcome to Kepler Station. How can we help the Confederation today? Joran ignored the hand. Your station manifest lists 847 registered personnel. Our sensors detect 891 life signs. Explain the discrepancy. Tessa's smile didn't falter. You must be counting the cubs. Cubs? Joran's translator chirped uncertainly at the word. Yes, our cubs. Come, I'll show you. She led him through the station's corridors, past laboratories where humans conducted their endless experiments, past recreational areas where off-duty personnel gathered. The whole time, Joran's sensor pad confirmed the excess life signs clustered in the station's residential sector. They stopped at a large common area. Inside, Joran saw them. 44 small humans ranging from what his database identified as infant to adolescent stages. They ran, played, and made the high-pitched vocalizations characteristic of juvenile mammals. Several adults supervised them, breaking up conflicts and preventing injuries. Your offspring, Joran said flatly. Our children, yes, Tessa corrected. Cubs, kids, younglings, whatever you want to call them. They are not registered with the Confederation. Because they're not citizens yet, Tessa explained, her tone taking on an edge. They're children. They don't work. They don't vote. They don't hold positions or draw salaries, so we didn't list them as personnel. Joran's skin flushed purple with indignation. All sapient beings must be registered. This is Confederation law. Article 7, Section 3, subsection. We know the law, Captain. Tessa's smile was gone now. We also know that every other species in the Confederation reaches legal sapience within months of birth. Your own people gain full cognitive function at 6 months old, the Vrath at 4 months. Even the slow-developing Orcs mature by their first year. She gestured to the children. Where a small human, no more than 2 years old by Joran's estimation, was attempting to stack colored blocks while simultaneously trying to eat them. Human children take 18 years to reach legal maturity. Some of our scientists argue it's closer to 25 before the brain fully develops. Are you telling me we need to register a 2-year-old who still can't control her own excretory functions as a full citizen of the Confederation? Joran felt his certainty waver. He'd reviewed the files on human development. They were an anomaly, a species that reached physical maturity long before cognitive completion, that remained dependent on adults for nearly 2 decades. Most species couldn't fathom such an extended childhood. The law makes no distinction for developmental stages, he said, but his voice lacked conviction. Then the law is stupid, Tessa replied bluntly. And here's another problem, Captain. If you force us to register our children as citizens, they become subject to Confederation jurisdiction. That means if we have a custody dispute, it goes to Confederation courts who know nothing about human family structures. If a teenager gets in trouble, they face adult penalties designed for species that are cognitively mature. If a child needs medical care, it requires Confederation approval that could take weeks. She crossed her arms. We're not hiding them, Captain. We're protecting them. These cubs aren't workers or colonists or crew members. They're children. They deserve to grow up outside your bureaucracy until they're actually ready to be part of it. Joran looked at the young humans again. One was crying, apparently injured in some minor collision with another. An adult human rushed over. checked for damage, and provided comfort. The crying stopped, replaced by laughter within moments. Such resilience. Such vulnerability. In his 3 centuries of life, Joran had never seen a juvenile of any species that required such intensive care, yet showed such potential for chaos and joy simultaneously. "This will need to be reviewed by Confederation legal," he said finally. "Of course." Tessa's diplomatic smile returned. "In the meantime, Captain, would you like to meet some of them? Maybe then you'll understand why we call them our future instead of our personnel." Against his better judgment, Joran agreed. A small human approached him, perhaps 7 standard years old, and stared up at his towering frame with wide eyes. "Are you an alien?" the cub asked. "You are the alien here, young human," Joran replied. The child laughed, delighted. "That's what my mom says too." Later, as Joran returned to his ship, he filed his report with an addendum he never thought he'd write. Recommend policy review for species with extended juvenile development periods. Current registration requirements may not be appropriate for all sapient species. The census numbers still didn't match, but for the first time in his career, Joran thought perhaps that was acceptable. Some things shouldn't be counted until they were ready to be counted,